Hi guys, welcome back to Fries with Potate. Today we have the Tadapura born, Chennai bred, stand-up comedian and now given us his directorial debut, Nirmal Pillai.
Clapping for myself. What a time to be alive.
That's how you should be actually. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
I really enjoy this.
Yeah. So actually, as we were just talking before the camera started rolling, and I had to keep all the questions within myself.
It was very brutal.
It was so brutal.
I can't sit in silence for too long. I have a problem.
He literally yapped me into asking some of my questions. I would have wished you heard all the things that he said, but yeah. I mean, it's a good job. You're a stand-up comedian and you also do crowd work. So you literally crowd work me is what I would say.
No, it's that rule that we were talking about. Just keep asking questions.
Oh, you should tell them about it.
Oh yeah, the best. If you feel you're an introvert, the best way to make people feel like you're a socially active person is to just go and ask them questions.
That's your camera.
They'll think, they think that they've had the conversation of their lives, but no, they've just talked completely about themselves. And they'll think it's a great time. And you come off being like, wow, what a great guy.
Yeah. Literally my hack for every conversation is the lesser you tell people about yourself and ask them more about themselves.
Yeah. It's the hack. The most valued hack. Yeah. But I can't believe you also do it.
Yeah. I do it all the time. I work the room all the time by just asking questions. So if you're at a party next time, remember us when you're asking questions to other people.
Correct.
Yeah. I wanted to talk to you about studying in DAB Mogaper, okay? Off to a great start, obviously. But yeah, you said that in one of your news articles or something like that, where you didn't have a lot of cultural activities when you were in school. And because of that, I was wondering, did that kind of push you into writing and, performing?
Oh God, you did research? Oh, I'm feeling flattered. But no, okay, yeah, that's actually very true. If I go back there, no cultural activities. We weren't allowed for your... so Chennai, if you don't know, has a very active school cultural scene.
Yeah.
All schools come together in one school. The prizes at that time included things like iPhones, iPads for school kids.
Yeah. And you'd have these big A-list celebrities walking into culturals.
Anirudh was now Hukum Anirudh was one of the judges, dude.
What?
He was one of the judges for
Which one, bro?
I think Church Park.
Swirl.
Correct, Swirl. The thing is, but we were never allowed to any of these because they were like, no, you can't do this, you have to study.
Oh my God.
It was actually, so because of this, because you can't do anything, you can't go, and we really wanted to, obviously, because in school, this was our idea of a good time.
It actually was, you get to meet different people and you get to not have teachers be breathing down your necks all the time.
Yeah.
It was actually fun and you were dancing, singing, doing crazy stuff on the stage and you had an audience, validation, whatnot,
Dude, now you're making me feel FOMO for something I've never experienced.
No, but you're right. I've only been to a couple. But even those memories of going to those few events, actually have stayed with me a lot longer. So yeah, you're right.
Correct. So because of that, I think I've always wanted to do that, and we did in some small capacity or the other. DAV will let you go for other DAV culturals.
Okay. Fair. Yeah.
Fair something. So there's one event that I won. I got a lot of validation then when I won that event, and I was like, oh, maybe how validation can fuel you through even if you're bad only. It can just fuel you to the next step. So then I thought always that this was something I could do. And because we couldn't have access to any of these things, I really wanted a college that was really free.
Okay.
And a college where I could do a bunch of things. So that's why I chose NIT, Trichy, because it was a government college. Government college means it's completely free for guy at least. Okay. For women, at least they have 9 p.m. curfews and all. But for guys, it's completely no curfew. Okay. You can wear t-shirts to class.
Really? No curfew for guys?
No curfew for guys.
Oh my God.
You can go and come and do whatever. It's a huge campus all for yourself. They had a theater club. They had a hiking club, which is what I saw on the website. And I was like, wow. And I was like, I really need something like this. Yeah. And they had a good cultural activity in college.
Yeah, Festember.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, okay, you know what? This is something I really want to do. And that's why I even chose NIT in the first place.
Yeah.
Interestingly, because we weren't allowed for any of these culturals or anything, no plays, we couldn't do much like that. That's why in 9th grade we made that film.
Yeah.
We had nothing else we could do, so we made a film in 9th grade. It's very bad. Please never watch it.
Yeah, it's
I've understood it. No. That came much later.
Oh, really?
This one is in 9th grade. We made a film called Nanga Kadavul. It's about Greek gods coming to Chennai.
I would have thought it was about Ajit or something.
Well, yeah. You know what? Now in retrospect, what a great meme lords we would have been. No, it's about Greek gods coming to Chennai, and we made the trailer for it first before we made the film.
Wow.
Because we don't know how filmmaking works.
No, I understand. Yeah.
And then we got so hyped when we put it on YouTube, and we were like 100 views, guys, let's go. It was pretty wild. But yeah.
Yeah. Even I have some unlisted views.
You have unlisted views?
Yeah, lots of them.
What,
like,
can you name one of them?
You know, I was really in my Lily Singh phase at that point, so the video name was Types of Girls. So you can.
You made sketch videos.
Yeah, I did.
Bro, please please make it public. Why?
It's never happening. It's actually never happening. Like, I don't think you can give me like $1 million to get me to unlisted.
But why? Isn't this like, you know what I really enjoy? I think I will make it public. Because I really enjoy going to other YouTubers who I really like.
Yeah.
And you go to like Marcus Brown, MKBHD, if you go to his oldest video, it's him looking like a peanut.
Yeah.
And then so small and quality is bad. But then you can see growth.
Yeah, true.
That I really enjoy.
That is true.
But I really enjoy growth. And there's this one new artist. I don't know if you've seen Domeshi on YouTube. Mm-hmm. She just it just came on my feed. Okay. And I was like, Denial is a River, one song.
Oh my god, I did see that.
You did see that song? Dochi. Did I say Doeshi? Okay, I have ADHD. But Doshi.
Yeah, Dochi.
Okay, Dochi.
Okay.
Today only, I saw that song. I'm like, damn, dude, this is pretty good. I go to her channel, I go to Oldest. And she's done all those old YouTube. Hi guys, a day in my life. Now she's signed to Top Dog Entertainment.
I know. Yeah, she is a pretty big artist actually right now.
Yeah. I had no idea. So, but it's so nice to see that growth.
Yeah, true. That is true. I think like right now it's like a little bit like you have to be curated, you know, has to be a little perfect. But I get what you're saying. Like it is nice to see like the underdog sort of become like the top dog. I didn't want to use top G.
Yeah, we don't discuss.
Yeah, we don't discuss that here. Yeah, we're going back to college. Okay. So you were in the theatre at that point, like you were doing plays. And one thing I've noticed in like literally every stand-up comedian who has come on this show is that all of y'all were theatre kids. Yeah, all of y'all are theatre kids. Like that was my point blank like statement to you. Like please, like
that is the point where I continue. Rationalize stand-up. I'll tell you why I got into stand-up, and that can be why a lot of the others also did. I'm sure. One is there is a need for validation from like a public.
Wow, all of you all have the same template answer.
Is it? Oh wow, that's crazy. There is a need for validation, of course, and this is again harkening back to when you're in school and you gonna get that small validation for doing some elocution or some shit in front of your class or doing a shipwreck, and people are like, what? Karan joke, what? Like that. Okay, that it begins there, and then theatre was excellent for like learning how to write, direct, and the thing I enjoy the most was writing and directing.
I can tell in a lot of your work that you do put a lot of time into writing.
Yeah, writing and directing, that's my main thing. Acting is not even something I enjoy as much, but it's just something I was like, okay, fine. Fair enough. So the acting thing is theatre. I realized so 15 people on stage. If you write and direct a play, 15 people on stage, you are also performing whatever. If you travel with that 15 people and you do a 1,000-seater auditorium, you're gonna split that profit between everybody.
Yeah.
But stand up, it's still a live show. It's still one person on stage in front of 1,000 people, and you're taking back all the ticket money.
Yeah, true.
So I was like, you know what? Great.
Yeah.
No production.
That's sad. Yeah, no production.
Yeah, no production, nothing. Sometimes you do have production,
Little bit investment in yourself.
Little bit, yeah, just invest in yourself. Get ready to face a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Also, not just shit, like even bombing. That's what we call it in stand-up.
Yeah.
You go try a joke,
And it doesn't work.
100 times, it does not work. At some point, it will work, and then you stick with it. But yeah. That's the only thing. We were like fair deal.
Okay. That's fun.
Good enough.
So like when you went into theatre, is it because you wanted to try out like performing stuff?
My thing is, I've always wanted to just be a writer
Okay. So
or a
you
director.
only wrote when you were in theatre?
No, I got into it because for acting.
Wow, okay.
Then there was some seniors of mine and like my batchmates. They were so nice, and it was actually like the best time of my life in college was doing theatre because
Why are you doing architecture?
I didn't do architecture. I just never did.
Oh, you didn't?
As in, I did the degree,
Yeah, okay.
but I
You
copied
never-
every exam.
What?
Every exam from second year. I hope I was making this up, but I copied every single exam from second
How do
year.
you like tips could
So our college was pretty. So we had studios, and it was architecture. It's not like so we had tables this big for one person.
Okay.
And every exam that we were at, dude, in second year itself, we realized that you know what, we are not passionate about this as much as it needs to be. Also, there's not a lot of money in architecture, and I'm coming from like very like parents had to put together money to send me to college kind of place. So I'm like, this is if I'm gonna graduate and make 10,000 rupees per month or 15,000 rupees per month, it does not make sense for me.
Yeah.
I have to do something else. So there itself, we gave up with architecture.
Wow, second year dream auditing.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so copying is very easy because like, wow. You take your phone out and everything is loaded on the phone. You place it in between your crotch.
Okay.
And then you close your legs. And then you do it. And then your invigilator walks past, but nobody's going to look at your crotch.
That's fair. That's fair. Like, that is fair.
This is how we survived for 5 years. And also, I'm really good at bullshitting. And you can tell, no?
Yeah.
A lot of reviews were a lot of just. I used to give them like a cube, and I used to be like,
This is the universe?
yeah, exactly. This represents a cubism. Nothing.
Yeah, fair.
In fact, once for my thesis, this is the final project. For my case study, I put images of the Museum of the Future in Dubai.
Okay.
And I never went there. You're supposed to put case studies of only places you've been there.
Okay.
And I put this and I presented it and I was like, I've been here. It's excellent. It's one of the most moving experiences I've had in my life. And they were like, you went all the way to Dubai for your thesis case study. And I was like, sir, I am a Malayali. Of course I did. And he was so floored. He just gave me marks, but I never went. Sorry, sir.
No!
Yeah, so I was very good at bullshitting. So I survived architecture because of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
You put the My High card. That was smart.
Bro, something all I did.
That's actually quite smart. But
But theatre was what I was doing. I really enjoyed and doing the most in college. And learning design. That was separate.
okay.
Yeah.
When did you so did you write plays for the theatre club that you were part of?
Yeah, I did. I think that was my goal. So I think starting I was just an actor for like 1 year or something. Second year itself, I wrote one play called Kali Yuga. It was about the end of our observable universe. It was quite deep for some reason. I don't know.
I mean, I feel like the second we start wanting to write something, you'll take the most serious piece of thing that you've seen and be like, that is the standard.
Yes,
and I have to write that.
Yeah, you instantly go in wanting to be Christopher Nolan.
Exactly.
You instantly go in wanting to write an Interstellar for your first thing ever.
Yeah.
And so it was about so in the mythology of the Hinduism at least, there is this thing about Kali Yuga where right now we are in the end times. And there is some god who's supposed to come back, some avataram of Vishnu called Kalki, who's gonna come back and take us back into the first yuga. So there are 4 yugas.
Okay.
So it was about that, but then there was a twist of who is who.
Oh.
Who is the demon and who is the hero? So who is Kalki? So the entire play was framed as in the obviously bad looking guy ends up being Kalki.
Oh.
And the obviously good guy like through
like good looking or
the,
like
the good the supposed to be they wearing a white wearing white, and the bad guy who's wearing black was Kalki. The good guy wearing, and he was stuck in this chain called samsara, which is an infinite loop. So I wrote this entire play, and then we actually toured with it, and I think we got like 3rd place best script in Unmad something for it in IIT Bombay, IIM Bangalore's culturals for it. And but now when I read it, and there was like dance and all in it, dude. Like the person who co-wrote it with me, she did like this beautiful dance routine around the whole thing, and it was actually quite nice to see. But then when I read it like in retrospect, I was like, wow, this is really boring. But then it was still nice. Then after that, I think immediately after that you realize I don't want to be pretentious, and you go all the other way. And then after that, I think I wrote a play based on a prompt somebody gave me for our annual thing, which I really enjoyed writing, called Goat for Sale.
Okay.
It's about a goat called Omar, who there's one family who really loves this. The goat is supposed to be sacrificed for
Bakrid?
For Bakrid, and they have this goat.
It was going when it was named
goat was Omar, right? And then this goat is supposed to be sold or cut. But then, and all 3 of them in the house, father, mother, and son, they are in agreement that they are going to sell the goat. But what they don't know is each person of this family has kind of developed like a relationship with the goat, telling the things that they can't tell other family members. Like the father, for example, is telling the fact that he can't get intimate with his wife because he has boner problems and stuff like that to the goat. But it was like delicately done, not like crass.
Yeah, of course.
The son was telling problems about he's in love with a Hindu girl. All this. So each of them are kind of do not want to actually sell the goat. So the story progresses in a way until the end where the girl, like they're like, okay, now we have to take him, right? And then it's like on chaotic ending and everything. There's an ambulance.
Actually, Bakrid, right? The goat that you buy to like sacrifice, you're actually supposed to develop a relationship with.
Is it?
Yeah.
You actually have to, but then
so the story is that the God asked the prophet to basically sacrifice his son, and he was about to sacrifice his son when God stopped him and said, you don't have to sacrifice your son, you can sacrifice the goat. I was just checking if you would do this for me, and then the goat, right? You're supposed to develop a relationship with it because it's basically symbolic of like the son, like the prophet could like give his son away to God, his one and only son.
Oh my God.
So you should be able to develop a relationship with the goat and give it away to God.
Is it this deep?
Yeah.
So do you develop
I actually haven't like developed a relationship with the goat. So
when you do, tell me.
I don't think I don't think I will. It's a bit difficult.
It's a bit difficult, no?
Yeah.
Like,
and I don't think like right now people follow that practice of like developing the relationship with the goat. It is something that you're supposed to do technically.
Yeah.
But
fair
like
enough.
a lot of people just like.
This is very interesting.
Yeah. Wow. So you were actually quite right.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. So like there was more depth to what you wrote than you actually knew of.
But it was a silly ending, like we put the goat in a burqa. I don't know if that's offensive.
Okay, maybe a little bit, but
okay, then we're gonna chalk at.
No, not to like. I mean, not to me or like. It's actually not. It's like something that we did so long ago.
To kind of sneak the goat away in an ambulance.
Okay, got it.
So we kind of make people believe that the goat is they kind of make the person who's going to the hospital and they put him in a ambulance and it's all that. Then after that, actually, so there was Goat for Sale. So then I realized, comedy, I can really write. I was not in this play. I just directed it.
Wow.
And I was like, this is the main thing I want to do. Then me and my co-writer, so I had she was extremely witty and extremely good. I had a co-writer in college called Anupama. She and I wrote this play called Man Eater of Mullurkara.
Okay.
And this was like I think the best play, or one of the pieces of things that I've done which I'm most proud of, which we wrote and co-directed. And it's about a man-eating play.
Man-eating?
It's about a man-eating play. And the two principal characters are Thomas Kutti and Niels Neelagandan.
Isn't there like some northeastern film of the same plot?
I don't know, I'm
like
not
this
sure.
Doctor who like cuts like a piece of her leg and like cooks it and offers to this guy. Both of them like enjoy cannibalism. The whole plot of the film is that.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah, it's actually like quite dark. So like both of them exchange like cannibalistic meats that they've cooked, and they both sit together and have it, and they get caught in the end. It's actually quite like disturbing. Yeah. I'll find the title of the film's name. I forgot.
Oh yeah. But is it like gory? Is it like body horror, or is it like?
I mean, it's
funny.
It's not funny for sure,
Exactly.
but it's like it's almost like romantic in one sense because they're doing it with each other.
Fair.
So like honestly, you don't know if you have to feel a little disturbed or like like be like, oh my god, this is cute, because they're both eating human meat.
Bro, this cannibalism only puts me off.
Yeah. So she's basically a doctor, right? So she has a lot of access to meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen that one film? This thing, Sector 36. Mm-hmm. Did you Vikrant Masse? Mm-hmm. It's about this guy. Please, it's similar. If you enjoy this kind of film, you may enjoy it. It got rave reviews on Netflix about this guy who. It's a true story, sadly, about this guy who abducts children and kills them, and then he eats their flesh also. I really, if any cannibals are watching this, please, why do you do this? What if you are a cannibal, please identify yourself and tell us like what is the appeal of eating human meat. It's quite strange.
Have you watched
The Substance?
Jeffrey Dahmer?
No, I've not seen that.
Oh, you should probably watch it. It goes really.
I think that's too intense for me.
Yeah, it is a bit. I actually couldn't watch it. My friend is like a big.
Horror
I don't even. She likes Jeffrey Dahmer the series. Okay, I'm just gonna say that to protect her. Okay, so she's like really into like psychotic things, and she basically was like, "Bro, this is like the best series ever. You have to watch it." And like I turned it on, and I can't sit through it. I like stopped at like the second episode. I start crying at like the most silly movies, So imagine my horror when like we have to actually see like they actually like really fully fleshed out like actually like everything that goes on, It was like too disturbing.
No, I get what you mean. Even I cry a lot for like for example Moana when she's going out in the boat, I'm crying.
Bro.
Okay, so I get really affected by film sometimes, and horror doesn't do anything for me because I know you're trying to scare me.
Yeah.
But
I do get scared also. I got scared for Sukshmadarshini.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched it yet. Don't tell me anything. I haven't seen it.
It's not even a horror film.
It's not a horror?
Yeah.
Okay. But thing is, like, I get what you're saying because horror and all doesn't do anything, but Dahmer and like things like this, Sector 30, which are based on real life things, it's scary because this actually happened.
Yeah.
And it's scary because they're not like, there's no ghost or anything. This is where the people themselves are the monsters.
Yeah.
Other people themselves, people who we would never expect are the monsters, and that's like damn spooky.
Yeah. Oof. It's actually quite. How do you put it?
You just think like, how are people like this?
Dahmer actually explores why he's like that.
Oh, why?
So basically, when he was like really little, like his dad taught him how to dismember like a bunny. So he was always like, and he was always alone. So he was very fascinated with how dismembering things happen.
Yeah.
And he was also a white man who was gay at the time in US, where homophobia was very like prevalent. So he had a lot of like repressed feelings for men, and he couldn't like come out and be clean about it. And the way that he would have interactions with other people, he would like them if they were still. So he used to actually like to be with a mannequin, So he used to really like being with a mannequin, and he wanted the humans to be like the mannequin, where he could just like observe their face, observe their skin. So he used to basically inject their like brains with like water or something like that, so that they just go in a coma for a couple of days. So they're still alive, they're breathing, but they're like.
But this is the only way that he could get like
action
or turned on.
Yeah.
This is the only way. So it's kind of sexual paraphilia in a way.
Yep. So he used to do all of those things with them, and like he used to cut them up into pieces and he would keep their skulls.
So why? So what is that for?
No, because he liked dismembering things. He would keep their skulls, and actually he used to be part of this black neighborhood where he used to put people in like vats of acid to and like the black neighbors were obviously telling, that like, dude, the smell here is like so pungent, like what the fuck are you doing in your house?
Yeah.
And like the cops never took him seriously. Even once when a kid actually escaped from his house, the police didn't take them seriously because he said that that's my boyfriend, don't interfere. So because he was a white man, he got away with it many times. Right about when you were writing all these plays, I also remember that also 2019 is when you opened for a stand-up comedian. And that was before you even started content creation seriously.
Anirban.
Yeah.
Anirban Das Gupta.
Yeah.
He was one of the funniest guys.
Like, did you do stand-up in college? Like, did you have practice? What was it like for you to get into stand-up?
I think the thing is, final year of college, I just got out of theatre. Mm-hmm. I had a lot of time because I was just doing my thesis. I had nothing to do. Mm-hmm. And the main thing I ever wanted to do was have a show or a movie that I wanted to direct. Write and direct. But then I was like, then I saw this assistant director route.
Okay.
And it's too crowded. There's too many people, and it's too hard to break through that method.
And you don't make a lot of money either. So
you don't make money also. Exactly. You don't make money also, and that's something I needed. And then I realized this won't work. Then I saw at that time Biswa Kalyan Rath. He's a comic, but he also had a show that was on Prime. I was like, hey, this is a great way to do it, and that's the literal reason why I started stand-up. And I started going to these open mics, and it was very bad. Like, because when you first go into these open mics, the hardest thing I realized to do in stand-up is to figure out how to talk like yourself again.
Yeah.
So when you first go and you're trying all these different skins of people who you like and you want to emulate and try to be. So you're trying out all your dark comedian things. Yeah. You're trying out all your
Nirmal,
all your
Pillai,
dark
Abhish
comedy.
Kumar, Rahul Subramaniam, all these people that you keep watching. I want to do stand up like them, bro. Like that.
Sure. But yeah, like for example, like a lot of comedians when they start, they ape the West a lot. So you will find if you go to any open mics, there'll be some comedians speaking like Kanan Gill. There'll be some comedians speaking like Dave Chappelle. Bill Burr and all that. Because it's the beginning. You don't have a voice yet, so you're trying to find that voice.
It's like when you're starting to write now, Christopher Nolan
Exactly. Dude, I'll tell you, the first stand-up that I ever thought I'll write was a stand-up show about like the universe and the singularity and some nonsense like that. Wow. Nobody, at that point, I thought I was being a genius. Wow. Okay, but then nobody's gonna watch that. Yeah, nobody, so... nobody's gonna watch that. Also, it is bad, and also it is pretentious. But it takes time for you to realize that. So the first time I was doing stand-up was all like, "Hey guys, what's up? My name is Nirmal. I have a dick joke. Do you guys want to hear it?" Like literally, I used to have this one joke that I used to do all the time, and it did so well in my college.
Really?
And then, but in open mics, it bombed.
Okay.
And I remember I got off stage in like some 5-6 seconds and stuff.
Oh, really?
It was so bad. Like, I've embarrassed myself too many times. And so that was how I got into stand-up. But then again, stand-up also, I realized, wow, to sell tickets, you need an audience. Yeah. You need a audience. And this was the time when lockdown happened, Instagram happened. So at that point, I was like, you
were on TikTok also.
I was on TikTok. I really enjoyed TikTok.
I could tell.
I'm so sad that they took it. Because I really love editing jokes, dude. And I think TikTok was so great for it because low effort. They had
so many effects, bro.
Effects, and you just keep your phone and you don't... The beauty is a democratized so many things. Like, you don't need a high funda camera to go film anything. Yeah. You can just film something on your phone. Yeah. And you can do anything you want and you can edit. It's great.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
You can start filming on your phone and then have a short film that has a screening, in like a short few years.
You could.
Is all that it takes.
Yeah, nice. Good one. I didn't see it come. I was like, oh, what short film?
Yeah, but you started making these like skits and you were very much yourself at that point. I think you were you were making dumb jokes and like they were like fully aware that they were dumb. You know, it was very.
Let's rock.
Fully like he would have dal chawal in the background of his like short film if you watch it.
Yeah. Hey, nice. You know, you caught that. Nice.
There's so many things that I caught. There's like onion movie and all running in there.
Yeah. Let's go, dude. Let's go. Crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, like when you started out, it was like a couple like reels that blew up at that time, and at that time like blowing up on reels was like the thing to happen, you know. Everybody was trying it, everybody was figuring out on like what is like a reel format, like how do I position myself. Nobody was thinking that even like what do I put on reels was the first thing that came on like mind, you know. And now you have like courses on like how to make content.
Not just courses, there's some people are starting like schools, physical schools.
I saw in Bangalore only. Lit school.
Is it that? Yeah, I guess, I'm not sure, but what is it? There's schools teaching you how to make content. There's
like, it's not even that, they've niched down. There's just like how to position yourself on reels. There's a course on that, and I saw it and I was like, wow, interesting.
And here we are trying to get away from any kind of boxes that people are trying to position us in.
Yeah, true.
That's what happens like in the later. You don't want to be just put into that box of just content creator. You just want to be more.
Honestly, like, you know, initially in the content creation thing, everyone would be like, find your niche, you know, like you have to find your niche. And I would say that was like the worst advice people would have given. Like I remember like listening to that advice and like trying to put myself in like a niche, you know, like, oh, this is my niche now. But like I have so many interests, you know, and humans have so many interests. You can do quite literally anything that you want, and you don't have to niche down. And I think it's bad advice anyways.
It is bad advice to find a niche. You should do, it's something in I think the best way to see it is like a Venn diagram of things. There are things you will be interested in, and there are things that the public will be interested in. What is that thing in the middle? That is where you will capitalize. Otherwise, you can do things that you want and not get any. You need to know, I think you need to know what you're getting back from it. What do you expect from Reels or from YouTube or whatever? The answers are in a lot of times simple. It's social capital, and you can exchange that social capital for more things like opportunities or visibility or like money. Money is very tangible. These are tangible things. Like for example, you can leverage your social capital for a role in a movie if somebody notices you for visibility. That's like tangible.
One thing that people don't know, I think they didn't know that Abish, like one of the characters is actually a YouTuber.
Streamer.
Yeah, he's a streamer. Yeah.
He's a streamer, exactly. So,
and like not people don't even know that. Only like the Malu people and like some niche people know that.
Malu people know this, that this fellow is a streamer. And so money is also something. But if you really do want to just do things you're interested in without caring what the public knows, please do it. That's the best way, I think. Like you're just doing what you like, enjoying, not caring about how many people saw it, not caring about how much money you made it. Yeah, it's great, dude. But that middle part, to find that is I think the best way.
Yeah. How do you think you found like that like sweet spot? You know, obviously when you're trying out content, like you've tried and experimented with like a lot of different stuff, you know, and you've had stuff that hit, you know. I've seen people trying to emulate you now, you know. I've seen people like, oh my god, your relationship reels that you've started making, everyone's a relationship guru now.
What relationship?
Bro, you know, you make these like shorts.
Cinematic shots. Yeah.
Everybody wants to be the person who tells you how to be in a relationship. You have to be in one to know how to be in one first.
Oh my god. Yeah.
You started one epidemic there.
There's an epidemic?
There's one proper epidemic now.
I'm gonna go back and watch. I'm so excited.
But yeah, you did find like...
Because my reels are gone. It's full brain rot.
I'll send a couple.
You send me a couple? Yeah. Mine is full brain rot. Reels has become like a meme place now, if you notice.
Yeah, it has.
Like what I consume are only memes. I don't know when was the last time a creator popped up for me.
Okay, that's fine.
Is that, do you have
No,
that?
I actually get a lot of creators.
You get a lot of creators?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Please send some to me and save me from this.
Yeah.
I'm getting so many brain rot. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, but you did, when you were trying to like figure out reels, but you were actually like popping off with the small, like stuff that you were doing at home itself, you know?
Yeah.
With the camera and everything. Like, what was like the content creation process like for you?
It was, so I was doing a course after college for product design, UX UI, and this was so that I could make money.
Yeah.
And enough money to buy an iPhone if I had to remember my thing, so that the video quality will look better. And I was doing this because, again, like I wanted to do this self-finance. I don't want to rely on my parents for money because they are very good. They whatever they did for me so far in life, that was enough for me. Like give me education and all that. Some people have generational wealth and they should use it. Please use your generational wealth. Anyway, but I don't know why I'm going on a tangent. So at that time I wanted to release some thing in the evening, and that's why I started making those reels or those TikToks in the first place, because it was like a nice release for creativity in that way, and that's what I was doing. And I was at that point I had this thing that I'll put one video every 2 days.
Okay.
And I saw, again, validation drives you. I think the first 100%. Video me and my roommate, right now my housemate Gautam, we made was about we made like Maggi idli.
YouTube video, right?
No, it was an Instagram video first.
God.
We made Maggi idli, and it was just editing on like crack. And it is it's editing on crack, and we really enjoyed it. But then it also got like these 1,000 views or like 2,000 views and like some 20 comments or something, and I was like, holy shit.
You made it.
I've made it.
At that point, I peaked.
I'm so happy we were. But it was too difficult to keep making every time. So then I started making these one-off 1-minute videos. At that point, Reels came. Reels came, and it kind of, it's right place at the right time also.
Yeah.
Reels, they also wanted to push Reels. You're making exactly the same kind of content Reels wants. It kind of takes you to it. I think I realized something later on, which is that if you talk about some things that are relatable, again, things I'm interested in, like editing humor and like shitty YouTube humor, and things that people are interested in, relatability, things that happen in their lives, Bangalore content, Chennai content. You call out a place, you call out things like biryani, you do something about a dosa, parota. Bro, right, you've got it. Like, that's it. So I realized, oh, these are some things that people really enjoy being talked about. And then that's how it kind of started. You
basically saw what your interests were and how you can align that with like what people would be interested in, and then you made your take on that.
Yeah, exactly. And it was like coming from personal observation, and I really like this thing of there's this thing in the design world where old, like for example, I really love seeing articles or some things about like lorry designs, you know, matchbox design, right? And like there is so much untapped journaling to be done about like the design aesthetic of India, for example. And slowly I've seen some of them come like nicely, naturally now about like the design of old matchbox design, right? When you see those kind of articles or when you see this, you realize what they're doing. They're kind of contextual, they're kind of talking about these things, but with depth or something that they're just giving it that before nobody talked about it. Everybody just was like, correct. So similarly,
you don't understand the beauty of how it.
Somebody's just talking about these things. Okay, that's main. I realized I really enjoyed doing this for things I grew up with, like Malayali names. For example, that was one of my videos, which is about Malayali names explained. Unni is a name that these are things that every Malayali knows, but it's just not been packaged and presented in a way that almost everybody can consume, and not just Malayalis. Like Tamilians can consume this. People from Bangalore can consume this. People from Bombay can consume it. That was kind of what I was. So that's why one of my old videos, which I really like, is like, what is a parota?
I really like that.
You like that? I really enjoyed making that because I was like, I of course know what a parota is. Tamil people of course know what a parota is, but do the North Indians really know? And so it was like a funny way of like, I really like it's the same thing, dude. Like once we watch a movie, you go back and what's the first thing you do? You listen to movie reviews about it.
Yeah.
Why? You saw the movie. Why are you listening to it? Because somebody is contextualizing something that you just saw.
Yeah.
Somebody is just contextualizing something that you have lived and experienced, but you do not have the mental bandwidth to go back and write something about it. So you enjoy consuming something that somebody else has done about it.
Yeah.
That's why we watch movie reviews.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, but with cultural phenomena, which is what I think I was doing at that
That's
time.
brilliant. What you just said is actually quite brilliant.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That is very well put, Nirmal.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm really stumped by your, contextualizing of the context of movie reviews. Very good. I thoroughly enjoyed that tangent that you went on.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Something that was pivotal in your content creation journey was actually meeting Abhishek. Yeah.
Yes.
And like that partnership that you guys have, it's like a cricket match almost. Like both of you are the batsmen. And like you're taking like both of you are running back, front and back,
really good one.
front and back. So it's honestly like a cricket match, and it's like seeing someone have like this lovely partnership on the field,
Yeah.
And I really like what you guys do because both of you have your own spaces, but at the same time you're able to come together to make stuff together. So how do you guys come to an understanding that this is what you do? Because it's very easy, it's very quick, people can misunderstand.
Did you ask this in his podcast?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, yeah.
Because I wanted to learn your take on this, because it's quick to, when money is involved, people do, tend to change their minds about certain things. But you guys have had like a fantastic run, right now you guys have your both like you've done your stand-up together, you've done a crowd work together, and you've also done you have your own IP together now, which is the first move. And at the same time you guys have done separate things. You have had a TV show, he has had a TV show, and like you have done a film, and like he's also been part of films. Wow, fireworks!
Let's go! That's celebrating first move.
Yeah, and you also now like directed, and he was also the assistant director. Associate director in this short film that you've done. So like, tell me all about it, man. I want to know from like the down and dirty.
Actually, the thing is, what you see on screen is just a reflection of the actual friendship that we share.
Yeah, it's very like you can tell that
like there is a real friendship, and he's extremely close to me. He's one of my closest friends. So it became that way. We first started collabing together because there was a similar wavelength of sorts. And what was true was the fact that he and I were both coming from very similar backgrounds, and so that really helps. Like he's not some guy from South Bombay, and he's also a guy from like some part of Chennai where people don't even consider Chennai.
Oh my god, yeah, he also came from that.
He also came from somewhere. So we were both those people, and his school also they were not allowed for culturals. So that same hunger existed for both of us, I think. And
you guys live parallel lives almost. Like he
in some way.
He also like his reasoning for going into stand-up. All those things, like he also did theatre. Like both of you lived like very parallel, similar lives. So
yeah, exactly. So correct. So when you have that much similarities, and at some point I realized that, actually we are friends. And then ever since that, it's just been like, because we toured so much. And at this point, we know so much about each other because when you travel with somebody for 2 days itself, you kind of feel like you know them well. Imagine going on a world tour with this person. That's crazy. And also our sensibilities for travel also align. Like if one of us does some impulsive shit, always the other person always comes along.
Okay.
We have done some nonsense like doing dandiya at like with a bunch of half the crowd that came for our show in Ahmedabad. We were sitting and doing dandiya after drinking jamun shots on like the Sabarmati ashram riverfront at like 3 a.m.
Wow.
Some
you
nonsense.
guys have actually lived quite a happening life.
Because we really wanted to. Because we were denied this throughout our schooling by the school, not by the parents. So there is a true real friendship there. He is also extremely ambitious. I'm also extremely ambitious. The thing is, I think we kind of remove the ego when it comes to it. I think that's why he also never had any problem coming and just being like a Vishisht kind of character in Bata Boy Crocs Girl. He told me when he read the script, he told me I want to play that character. I didn't give it to him. He's like, I'm gonna play this guy. He had no ego when it comes to, he had no ego when it came to, I went and I told him, for this film at least, I went and I told him, Macha, I'm gonna act and direct this. It's gonna be extremely hard, and he's the only guy I trust when it comes to making sure I act well, or like both of us act well. So I was like, when I'm on screen,
and you guys have done it before as well, so he can tell when you're.
He knows my meter.
Yeah, he knows your meter.
So I was like, Macha, he's not even there. He's not even needed on all 7 days of shoot.
Yeah,
his parts are only 2 days.
Yeah, true.
He came all 7 days just to make sure that the acting was like the meter was correct and all of that stuff. Because it's extremely hard to both direct and act. And I needed somebody very trustable to be behind the camera, and he did that.
Yeah.
And so I think we kind of remove the ego when it comes to talking to each other. The money, we kind of have this thing where like whatever you do individually, you kind of do it on your own. And we are kind of open about money with each other.
You guys are almost like business partners in that sense.
Yeah, and
you have to have like a certain level of like honesty and like openness, and if you've gotten to that point, I feel like which you guys have, then you don't have to like go revisit it every time,
Yeah, exactly. So so once you're at a point where you're like, hey, this brand is charging me this much, or you discuss, it just makes it
very
easy.
Yeah.
And we both have a combined goal with our financials. Like we know how much like we're making.
Yeah, true.
We know, because we also, we are the first people I think in our family also who are suddenly seeing this kind of money. So we also need to figure out how to navigate it correctly.
True.
So it's always nice to have somebody going through it with you.
Yeah. Oh my God, 100%.
So you like simple things like financial planners. What are you doing for tax this year? Yeah. All this we communicate very openly with each other.
It's almost like having a wife.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Like you're doing your taxes with him.
You're doing your taxes. Yeah, I'm not doing your taxes with him. But we know what we're doing.
Everything, everywhere, all at once is about you and Abhishek.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. So even like I think my dream is to become a director. Yeah. He wants to be a great actor.
He is. Yeah.
And he is a great actor. He already started doing that thing. So there also it's like kind of complementary only.
Yeah,
it's not like we are both competing to be like the best actor or whatever. Nothing.
It's very nice to see it actually.
It's complementary. So I think it's worked out that way for us.
I feel like I've seen people get selfish in this process. Like,
yeah, really?
Yeah, I have. So, and I have seen how it has affected like people. I have seen it like firsthand within creators. I can't tell who they are obviously, but like I have seen it, and I have seen how it like bombs in front of them, the second they get a little bit selfish,
Yeah.
So it's actually what you're saying. I don't think the depth of it is like understood, because it's actually very easy to get selfish with money.
It is.
It's very easy to be like, I want it all. It's very easy to go into that kind of mindset.
Yeah.
But I feel like you guys have built this beautiful partnership,
Yeah.
It's honestly, like I said, two like cricketers on field,
Yeah.
because one person gets out, like, it kind of is like the partnership ends over there. Right?
Yeah.
So, like, I don't want to say that kind of, like, அந்த annotationக்கு போவேனா
Yeah.
analogy வந்து இவங்க ரெண்டு பேரும் star cricketers-னே வச்சுக்கலாம்.
No, but it's also, I think we're both self-aware enough to know that, like 2-3 things. I think we discussed this in another podcast. I think with Kenny, he asked, how do you handle this jealousy thing? And we're like, so when that jealousy comes also, we're a little open about it. Like, hey, எப்படா கிடைச்சிச்சு உனக்கு அது? Like, it's as simple as that. But it's good to always diffuse it.
True.
And move on. And also, like, I think both of us are self-aware enough to know that we can't be dependent on the other person for our success.
Yeah.
Like, I can't think that, oh, Abhishek is growing, so naturally I'll put pace. I'll coast off his success. That can't happen.
True.
We create an IP together, whatever, but we are still growing together individually. We're growing individually, and at all times we can always come together to do something, and it's always great to have each other's back in our individual projects also.
It's amazing. I honestly think it's so great that you guys have each other, because like when you're content creators, right, and you're having someone who's going through the exact same thing that you're going through, it's easier to find relatability within each other.
Dude, and I really saw this in like Bombay. I think when the first time I went for like hanging out with Abish and stuff, these are comedians who we really loved growing up.
Yeah.
Kenny, Kannan, Biswa, Abish.
I used to
all
sit
these
and watch
guys.
Son of Abish like all the time.
Oh, what a great show. Ahead of its time, if you ask me now.
True.
That level of set design.
100%.
So ahead of its time. Right now, if it came out like in that glory, it would bang. It would be crazy.
Yeah.
So, like when we went to hang there, we were like wondering how to deal with all of these things. We went there. We see literally we go there in their house. Kenny, Kannan, Abish. They're all just sitting and chilling. And we're like, oh wow, these guys actually share a real friendship.
A real bond.
That's a real bond that's been fostered by this many years of a shared experience.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter who's doing what.
Yeah.
Like Kenny's doing his own thing, Kannan's doing his own thing, Abish is doing their own thing. They're not sitting and collabing or jamming about what video are we gonna do next.
Yeah.
They're not doing that. They're just chilling like friends.
Yeah, true.
And we realized that's because they are. And that was very inspirational. That was like, my God, if these guys can do it, this is kind of, you know how you pick your heroes or you pick your route, somebody's career, how you see your own career going in. We kind of picked what they were doing. Like how Kannan and Kenny or like Abish and all our friends, we are like, this is the same way even we'll remain friends. You would think that there would be some inner rivalry.
Yeah.
It's not there.
Honestly, I think that a lot of people who, like when they see contemporaries, you know, you would think that they would have that some sort of jealousy, you know. But I see these days when I meet contemporaries that like they're actually like more open to sharing with each other.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's actually like quite, the tides are changing where, you know, people would put like Talaya, Talapatiya. It's gone. Like right now, Tala and Talapati are friends.
They're friends and they're doing two completely different things.
Exactly.
One is racing, one is in politics. Like it can't get more different than that. So everybody at the end of it has their own goals.
Yeah.
And 100% that goal will be different from everybody else.
Yeah.
That's
actually very well put. And I actually like that you bought like, you know, you pick your heroes, right?
Yeah.
And like when you get to meet your heroes and you actually see how they are, like that also inspires you to another level.
Yeah, some of them.
Yeah, some of them. Some of them.
Some are like,
Yeah, been there.
Okay, we'll discuss off camera.
So at this point, you have done a series, you've done a film that you're part of, and you actually have, like, I want to get to your film at the end, the one that you directed. But like you have gone through all these stages to get to the final stage, which is wanting to be a director.
Yeah, it's always.
So I want to know, how did it feel like stepping each of these stones to get to the final goal, which you are at right now? Like, touch wood, happy for you. I'm so glad this is happening. You know, I feel like everybody should live out their dreams.
Yeah.
But like, in that process, you have like certain things that you have to go through.
Yeah.
And what was it like for you? You know, because you're getting closer and closer.
Yeah. I think, so again, right now I'm thinking, oh, what is the next?
Yeah.
And that is, I really do want to make a film for like the big screen. And like before that, we are doing one more thing, but the goal is to make a film for the big screen. How was it stepping in each of those things before that? Dude, it's honestly been great. Like, I think if I belong to a very small percentage of people who have figured out a way similar to you about doing what we like and making money. And this is a really rare, privileged place to be. And we have worked hard for it, and we kind of,
I'll get back to that.
Okay. So I really enjoy like living. I really enjoyed this entire journey. It never looked to me like it was going bad, or I don't think I struggled as much as I enjoyed everything. Like even stand-up, all that stuff, all the kind of shows that went badly, all the shows that went great, it's all been great, because I think you keep doing it until you reach a point where you stand in front of a 1,000-seater audience and you are all these people have come for you.
Yeah.
And to bring, I realized it's very special that people come out for these things. Everybody has a very busy life. Everybody does a lot of things that's
and you make them smile and laugh, and what bigger privilege is that?
Yeah, I guess.
I crack like one joke per year, you know, that I am personally very unfunny, okay? But like that one joke per year that I crack, it makes my whole year. So like imagine doing that as a job where you're making people laugh every day.
I think I think not making them laugh as much, because I don't know if humor is subjective, but I think it's now I told in the beginning about how stand-up you just learn how to be yourself. I think at this point I'm kind of like 60-70% myself on stage, which is a good place to be.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy just going on stage now for first move and just being myself. Like I don't have to pretend to be anybody.
Yeah.
I don't have to do anything. I have one guy there who's backing me up, and it's great. It's too much fun.
So you know how you said about like hard work, right? I feel like a lot of people talk about like, oh, I was so hardworking and all of that. But someone recently made me realize that, building a good business is very similar to what content creation is.
Yeah.
And even in a good business, hard work is like the fourth pillar. There are 3 pillars that you have to go through,
Yeah, what are they?
which is being in the right place at the right time,
Yes.
having the right connections.
Yes.
There's one more there, which is honestly like tapping into your network. Like if you have like a network of people who can provide certain things for you.
Yes. 100%.
Like you meeting those people, getting the opportunity to be in those spaces itself is like a certain privilege. And the final one is hard work, struggle, all of that, So when we all talk about like, oh, we're so hardworking and stuff like that. Yeah, of course, everybody's hardworking.
Everybody
The laborer is hardworking, The person who like works in my house, who's a domestic worker, she's hardworking.
Yeah.
And everybody works hard, but it takes all 4 of these pillars to be a good business or a good content creator.
100%.
So that being said, one of the best business moves that I've seen, let me not go through businessy. One of the best moves I've seen that you guys make is creating your own IPs,
Yeah.
You had your own crowd work and that went phenomenally well for you guys.
Yeah.
You went all around the world.
Yeah, an excuse to travel the world, honestly.
Literally, I could tell. It was very evident. I just knew that you wanted to see the architecture and be like, guys, I'm at the Berlin. I'm at like.
No, but on that, before we do that, like you have also, I can see that you've done the same thing with your own stuff. You've created your tech thing, and that's like a separate vertical of your business. You've created the podcast thing. I really don't know how you have the stamina to do all of these things and do it well.
I have a team.
You have a team? That's great. And to do your own channels thing. So it's really great how you're applying that same thing to your own thing.
Yeah, and
I think
very much so you meet your heroes.
Hey, not here, bro. We're like peers. No way.
No, for sure. I've seen like the way a lot of people work, and I've taken like the best of like all of these people that I've observed. I like to think I'm good at observing. And the best thing that you've done is like create different IPs. I'm so glad that it's happening, that you have like these different intellectual properties that you're actually like part of, that people watch, are excited for, that you make typos every time you put a story for the link. He makes a typo. It is either you or Abhishek.
He does it unintentionally. I do it very knowingly.
So like what was it like thinking like, okay, let's make a dating show, let's make first move some show where we bring on people, we bring on comedians, we bring on people and actually do this whole thing in front of a crowd, like what was the thought process behind that like?
So first move, we were doing crowd work. We got an opportunity to do this thing called Edinburgh Fringe Festival. It is the biggest live arts event in the world.
Yeah.
There are 2,000 live shows happening every day in Edinburgh. The city becomes like a stage. Like, where we performed for 21 days back to back in a classroom.
Okay.
In a classroom that became a stage.
Okay.
They set up lights inside that and people are literally sitting on like lecture hall benches who are coming to watch us.
Okay.
And so now we are in Edinburgh. We are completely in not our comfort zone. We are not in Chennai or Bangalore. Different people of all nationalities are going to come to watch this. What are we going to do? We can't go there and sit and do crowd work when people are doing the most like insane things, like the most wildest shows on the world you'll see there, okay?
Yeah.
I think you really have to go.
I know, like there's Baby Reindeer, like a show.
Yes.
Yeah, so he is actually a stand-up comedian trying to make it in that show, and one of the places that he goes to make it is the Edinburgh Fringe Festival.
Yeah, he started funnily, Edinburgh Fringe Festival is where he did that show.
Yeah.
And that became the Netflix show.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It's crazy. So it's one of the most insane places in the world. And we were like, okay, what are we? We are two brown guys. We have to tap into, again, what you are interested in, what public is interested in. This public knows things like Indian matchmaking. And that's something they know about India.
Okay.
And we are two brown dudes.
Okay.
So we are like, okay, let's do. And neither me nor Abhishek had the time back then to sit and write a show for this. So we were like, let's do improv. We both really enjoy improv. Well, let's do improv. Let's do a little bit of crowd work.
Was it nerve-wracking because it's almost like going back to being a beginner?
Improv?
Yeah, because like it's a different audience.
Oh, this Fringe? Yeah. I was crazy nervous. Because we were so wondering how are we going to sell tickets.
Yeah.
You know what we did? So we did this, and then we were like, let's do Indian matchmaking but in Fringe. But let's do improv and let's make it us.
Okay.
And do it. And that's what we wanted to go in with. I know, so I think in the beginning somebody called it like, oh, this is like Updating, which is a show in US. Truthfully, I had not seen Updating. Neither of us had seen Updating.
Okay.
And we kind of did this like Indian matchmaking in this thing. And now we try to Indianize it a lot. Like we try to make dating Indianized. So that's why we have arranged marriage. All of this. So every day through that 1 hour, we kept doing 1 hour every day. And by the end of it, we kind of devised, these are the games we have. Arranged marriage, blind date, somebody reviewing somebody's profile. And that was so crazy because it was a different audience. And we literally had to be on the streets of Edinburgh, holding signs, selling tickets. And we were like beatboxing and Abhishek was rapping, being like Indian matchmaking. It's something he was rapping about like the tickets for sale. We had to sell it like to a passing crowd. So that really taught us like sales and how to perform to a wider audience and not just like your own Indian audience.
Your own comfort zone.
Yeah, your own comfort zone audience. That was
now
crazy.
that I'm thinking about it, like there's Uraj Ashfaq, right?
Uruj, she won.
Yeah, she won and I'm like, wow, she must have been incredibly funny. I already found her very funny. But winning in the Fringe Festival is quite literally...
Massive.
It's
huge.
Just so huge and crazy now that I'm thinking about it. So,
so we started First Move there. And then we started touring with it. And then at some point, I think we started realizing that YouTube was going in this IPS direction. We wanted to put First Move out. So that's why we did this auditorium in Chennai. We did a 1,000-seater. And we thought we'll release it as a special. But then Abish told us, hey, don't do it as a special, put it out as episodic. At that time we were like, why episodic? How will we do it? And then I think at that same time, we saw that YouTube IP was growing.
Yeah,
IP
you
content.
Also had like Potate Act, you had like a little experience doing an IP already, which is completely different, honestly.
Completely different.
But like you know how to like do it.
No, also Latent. India's Got Latent came out.
100%.
There's this guy called Ashish Solanki, did a pretty good roast show. So all of these were growing and I was like, we kind of sense that YouTube right now is going in the space of comedy IPs.
Yeah.
And then we were like, we're sitting on it.
You literally
we were sitting on it.
Yeah.
And then we were like, let's go, bro. And then we just started putting it out as episodes. And then we use this also as a thing to kind of reach out to people who we love. To reach out to them. And they came and they did Rahul, Jose did one episode that's coming out soon.
Okay.
Rohan Joshi, this guy, Vineet Deep Kumar. So that it's also an opportunity to reach out to these guys who you like.
Yeah, and bring them on. And
bring them on and have fun with them on stage.
Exactly. Like they're also in their element. You're also in your element.
Yeah, it's too much fun.
It's almost like, how do you say it? Like you're sharing something with them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's great.
It's actually I'm very impressed by First Move actually.
Hey, thank you, man.
Like as like a viewer and an audience, and as someone who's like a content creator who likes like observing stuff like this, like the way the tides are changing.
Yeah.
It's really phenomenal to see you guys like move with the crowd,
that is one thing. And I think the one thing about being in this industry or whatever is that you keep doing the same thing over and over and over.
You get bored.
You kind of become predictable and then you're gone. You're finished. Yeah. Like people lose interest in you. The only way to survive is to keep reinventing, dude. Yeah. And it's pretty crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of IPs, I wanted to ask you, when is the season 2 of Potate Act coming? Like, why? What happened, man? Like, did you forget you had that?
This is my most number one comment under any
Like,
YouTube
why?
video.
Like, what's going on?
Whatever I release, there is nice, but when is Parota? Even with this movie, it was like nice, but when is Parota coming back?
I
Nirmal bro,
100% I relate, you know? Like, what happened?
I think I just really wanted to make a YouTube show because I live on YouTube. That's my main source of joy of consumption. Like, if I consume something, it's 100% mostly on YouTube. Like, I still need to watch some YouTube video. To eat, to go to sleep. Okay. Before I sleep, it's always, and it has to be something about some obscure topic. Like, I think the most recent favorite video I watched was advice if you're time traveling to medieval Europe.
Yeah, I would watch those videos.
You would watch that. It's a historian who's actually sitting down and he's like, so you're watching this because clearly you've got a time machine, and since you've got it, we're gonna start. It's like a history lesson about medieval Europe, but presented this way.
Yeah.
So I really love YouTube. YouTube is my favorite place. I really wanted to make a YouTube thing. I really love history. History is one of my great passions of life. And Potate was originally intended as a history show. And it was. And I think we reached that point, and then my editor who's with me, who's also shot and edited this movie.
Pratik, right?
Prakar.
Okay.
Prakar. He is my literal
right hand man.
Everything, like, not center man, whatever. I can't do that. Ram. Shout out to Ram. But yeah, Prakar, so he edited, he also got burnt out. I think I also got a little bit burnt out with, or also I have this problem where I keep getting bored of whatever I make.
Yeah.
Like,
ADHD?
I think so. I'm not diagnosed yet.
You should.
I should get. Yeah. I get bored of things I make. Like, if that's why I got bored of the old kind of reels. That's why I started making this new kind of reels. Then I was like, no, I want to make YouTube. I made YouTube. Then I got bored of that. Then I started doing. So it's like that.
I think as creatives, you do get burned out if you're doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah. And also, I like keeping things like doing something new because I really enjoy that challenge. Of like, because that's what, when people watch your thing, they kind of are programmed to believe that you are this person.
Yeah.
And to break that completely and come and do something else is like a lot of cognitive dissonance that has to happen for that. That's why the people who I really like are people like Jordan Peele, Childish Gambino, Kanan Gill in India, because he started Pretentious Movie Reviews. I really like that. Started Pretentious Movie Reviews. Then he started doing stand-up. Released 2 stand-up specials. Then his stand-up, Is This It? Is one of my favorite on YouTube. And then he wrote a book.
Yeah.
He wrote a book, and it's not. It's not a book about this thing. Like, usually when comedians write a book and all, it's about like their life or something. It's a pure space fiction.
Yeah.
I really enjoy like reinvention like this.
Yeah, you do seem to like do that a lot actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, I never like caught on to what you are doing. I just thought you like doing different things, but I see like you build up one thing and then it's like, no, you thought this was me? No, I'll do something else now. Now you thought that I was Potate? No, now I'll make a short film, you know? So you seem to like to do these things.
I do. I just enjoy doing that. Potate, but now I'm in a phase where I do want to bring it back. So I will probably.
Yeah. Do you have like people who like help you write it?
Of course. That's why they're all there in the credits.
Okay.
I couldn't have done it alone.
Yeah. Like I mean, it's very intensive research as well.
Yes. So that's why there was every episode I think has a different researcher, but the most recurring one was this guy called Mazin who worked with me. Here he does the base research doc, and then on top of one of the things he does, they do really well. The researchers on the team also they write it like a flow. It's not like one doc. It's not like a chat GPT generated thing. There is a story flow to it. Then me and another comedian sit on it and we kind of write jokes into it.
Yeah.
And then I do. Then me and Prakar also sit on it, and then we add all the editing jokes. And then we shoot it, and then we know every joke that's gonna happen.
Okay.
Before when we write it itself. And then we do it. It's also very long to do, dude.
Okay, makes sense.
It's like
tedious.
It's so tedious. Like the research takes a lot of time. The writing of the jokes also take a lot of time. The shooting, editing takes so long. That's why he got burnt out.
Okay.
Poor guy. So now, but we are planning to find a way to do.
You should do
bring
like
it back.
coin parota, where it's like smaller versions of parota act.
I did do that in Instagram. I did like 3 versions of that. Only one video is existing right now because the other 2 videos I realized people are really touchy about history of Indian things when you go to some topics which I won't mention.
Yeah.
But I started getting a lot of like things, but then I removed it. I was like, you know what, this is not worth it.
Fair enough. And as I was going through your account, I found out that you were featured on Forbes twice. Congratulations.
Forbes. Forbes to Forbes.
Forbes to Forbes. Thank you.
Hey, but congrats, dude.
Yeah,
It's
thank
very
you.
well deserved.
I mean, you also, like twice is a huge deal.
Yeah.
You know?
The second time I think was, or the first time was for Potate. One of those 2 was for Potate.
It was like I thought that like bro யாருமே வாங்குனதில்ல நான் தான் வாங்கியிருக்கேன் அப்படி நான் பாட்டு சுத்திட்டு இருந்தேன். I mean I never took it to heart or anything. I was like I didn't know anyone of like who had gotten it. So it was like quite new when I got it itself. I was just like, oh, இதெல்லாம் இருக்கா?
Yeah, even I had the same reaction. I opened, what?
Yeah.
What? There's a list? Who is this?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, I can be featured on a list like this. And all.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this guy's been number 6 and then number 30. You know, it's quite crazy.
Going down and then off.
Shut up. You don't even make content now.
That's true. Fair enough.
So that was the next question, which is, why have you gradually stopped creating content now?
I think it's just because I stopped. I think I hit a ceiling of it. Like I'd get bored if I went back to doing the same thing.
Yeah.
It's primarily that. Also, I think I think Instagram has become a place where. So there are 2 kinds of content I think in the world. One is the kind of content where you release a lot of your life or open up about your life a lot, make a lot of lifestyle related things. That means you showing what is happening in your day or like different kind of things. No, I'm saying you have different verticals, but one of your verticals is this. I was never that. I was always a content, like a writing kind of guy. So I think it kind of hit a ceiling for me there because the internet at least is becoming a little bit more personality driven. There are 2 kinds of people. There's one set of people who create content and the one set of people who are like very personality driven people. I had no interest in being that one. There's no harm in being or anything like that. That was just not me. I was not comfortable with that. So I think I just naturally kind of stopped the things because my Instagram has all become memes.
Yeah.
It's all become memes.
He's on the brain rot side.
I'm on the brain rot side completely. And if you really want people to like you or not like you, or if you want people to carry with you on your journey and stuff, you have to be like a personality kind of person, which I realize I'm not. So then it kind of, I was like,
what do you mean, Nirmal?
What do you mean?
What do you mean you don't have personality driven? I mean, slap you on fat slap I'll give you. What the hell, bro? The people watch you on, like they come out to see you, dude.
Yeah, so that's what. So then I think I just gravitated towards long format more. I think that's the real answer.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough, I guess. And then like you start making like these whole like shots.
Yeah, cinematic shots.
Yeah, cinematic shots.
Cinematic short films.
The epidemic that you started after that, like I really want.
Please send me some.
I really want to send you some, and I'm gonna like, I'm judging you for it. You started something and you left us hanging, and now everybody thinks that the Gen Z relationships are only like situationships because like some. Say solla vana vitru. I wanted to say some bad words, but
yeah, we did because another.
Crying is only coming.
I'm very interested in this.
Yeah,
but it was actually started because of this thing. I really want to make something new. Me and Prakar both. I think both of us are on one creative journey together.
Good.
And so we were same doing Potate, and then we were doing reels, and then we were making these videos. And I think both of us were like, he went to film school.
Oh. சொல்லவே தேவையில்லை.
He went to film school. So people were like, man, we both want to be filmmakers. What are we doing? Yeah. And then I think the best way to start anything, this kind of led into the short film also. Because the best way to do something, I realized, is to remove all friction from the act of doing it. I
understand what you're saying.
You understand what I'm saying? Do the first easiest thing.
Yeah.
So for us, the first easiest way to make any kind of short film, whatever it is to go with a camera, shoot outside your house. And we literally shot that in our area. The first one I did. Or we shot the first one in my house, which was the affair. No, it was about a message or something. I don't know what it was. I forgot the message. I forget now, but it was just shot in our house and outside. No, not too many fancy lighting setups. Just me and Prakar.
Yeah.
The friction was reduced to zero. Yeah. I'm not dealing with a set. I'm not dealing with actors. I'm not dealing with multiple different departments I had to deal with. We did the color.
And you were writing. And you were directing. And you were editing.
Yeah.
All of that. Like the part of the process that you wanted to be a part of.
Yeah, exactly. So So the friction was so low. Like if you could just take a camera and go shoot it. I think doing that gave me, and seeing how well those were received on the internet gave me a little bit of confidence of, okay, I can do a longer format thing.
So like I could actually see it, like when you did that Senthil and
Senthil meets Sundari.
Yeah, Senthil meets Sundari. I could see
I really like that.
The growth. You know how you said in the beginning where you could see the growth on like someone's like YouTube. I could see that like the conceptualization of when Senthil meets Sundari to have like fueled Bata Boy and Crocs Girl. You know. I could actually like see it happen like lifetime, and like anyone who has followed you would have seen it as well. You know? So what was
That's actually very sweet, man. I think I really want to thank you. You're a very keen observer of these things, and I don't know. I don't know about anybody else, but for me, especially sitting here, for you to notice these things itself is a huge compliment for me, or like it makes me feel very nice, because that's why we do anything, right? True. We do these things so that somebody may notice it, and you really notice these
like
things.
Budget VR, budget VR,
budget whoever you like. I don't know.
Literally, I'm the podcast person in your shot. Thank you for like memorializing me as a Mallu uncle. That's how I'm going to. I put myself in that Mallu uncle's position only, so it was very like I felt like very close to it, you know. So budget VR sitting right here.
Go, bro. Let's go. But so it was that. It was that transition. So Senthil meets Sundari was like a great entry point into this.
And what was it like writing, directing, doing all of those things?
Dude, I had the time of my life.
Yeah, I felt it was made with a lot of love, you know, packaged with a lot of love.
Yeah, that's why I had my fun with it. Now it's out there. Now people say whatever they want, because I'm done. I'm actually done. I'm clocked off. I'll be clocked off in 2 days and move on to the next one. But I think from writing it, which I did, I think a year and a half ago or something.
I think it's when I met you at Levon.
No. That is much late into the stage where we were actually thinking of how to do it.
Oh wow! Because he was sitting with like a group of people, and like that was when I first met Nirmal, and I didn't know if I should go up or not to him, and then I just ignored him.
I was like,
I should not.
Isn't this her? What are you doing here? Isn't it supposed to be in Chennai?
Yeah.
And then I think I just said Samiha.
Yeah, and I was like, oh shit, he saw me. I turned around and I'm like, hi Nirmal, I already saw you, but I didn't know if I should come up and say
hi. I do this a lot too. I just sometimes, hey!
Paakave lo
What? But I was thinking 1 minute of brain of like, how am I going to interact now? That has been happening for a while. So I wrote it 1.5 years ago where I was on a flight from Malaysia to Chennai, and I think it was in a phase where I was like, I think that reality struck of like, I did all of this so that I could be a filmmaker. So where's the film? Okay, that happened. Like, and you're alone, there's no internet, there's nothing. I was alone with my laptop. I think I wrote the first draft of the entire film in that one sitting in 4 hours. Till when the flight landed, I wrote the final word of the script. It was the first draft. And we got on, I remember telling Abhishek, because we were just coming back from a tour, I was like, Machan, I think I have a short film ready or something. And he's like, oh, nice, dude. And then we were both jet lagged. Then it was just forgotten about for like a while. At that point, I don't think I had the confidence to direct. So it took me a while to build that confidence to direct. That's why these shots were so instrumental in it. Because path of least resistance, get some 2-3 proof of concepts out there, do this. This is itself a proof of concept for a feature. Now I have more confidence to direct a feature. It's literally meant for that. And so the first draft was written, then I realized, of course, this script has loopholes. And the script has these problems and that problems. And then I wanted to make it into Malayalam, so I got this one phenomenally funny guy who I know in Bangalore called Hari Twat.
Okay.
Hari Twat is so funny. He's like one of these.
Shout out Hari.
Shout out Hari Twat. And he kept his name like that. So I called him, and then he reached out. It's like, Machan, is there any way can I work on this with you? And I was like, bro, please come. And then he came, and then we wrote it in Malayalam. And then I was looking for a person to play the role in Malayalam.
I saw the casting call, yeah.
Saw the casting call, could not find anybody who had that thing in my head. We could not match that idea that I had. Then it was just like one light bulb moment of like, dude, Kripali is here. I've done so much with her. I'm very comfortable with her. I know she can pull it off. Yeah. Why am I not talking to her about it? Yeah. And then the only thing that was holding me back was it's a Malayalam thing. How will she learn Malayalam? Then I was like, at that point, I kind of realized, okay, let's just make it English or let's just make it mumblecore in a way where. So that's why the film has like, it has Malayalam. It has.
Before even you finish the sentence, I said it, to you.
Yeah.
That it was so quintessentially Bangalore to have so many languages there.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And I wanted to ask, how much of Gokul was Nirmal?
Not a lot of me, honestly. Okay. I'm not that awkward. Maybe a past version of me, but also some people who I know in my life.
Okay. Yeah,
I wrote them into the character. Yeah. Even a lot of Ishita is also me.
Okay.
Like a lot of characters of Ishita. She's an architect, she's all that. Yeah. In the past, she used to be me where passion is great. As long as it pays you. Hasn't figured that out. She also, like the reason why I'm sure you're watching this after you've seen the film, but the reason she ghosts also at the end is because it's not blaming her or anything. It's because, why do people ghost? People ghost because you are feeling a lot of things in your head. You can't sit down and you don't have the time or the effort to sit and make sense of it. So, and you don't want to sit and make sense of it and then articulate it into words, send it to a person, because that means you have to kind of figure out what's going on in your head first. So, and send it to that person and tell them there's no harm, but then that also gives space for them taking it the wrong way and that going, and then a lot of your mental and emotional battery getting depleted. That's why people ghost, because they don't want to do that. I have also been in situations where I've done that. I'm not proud of it, but it's been that, and that's what I realized that happens.
Yeah, sometimes you're the Bata boy, sometimes you're the Bata girl.
Crocs girl.
Yeah. You have to be on both shoes. You're either wearing Bata one day or Crocs one day, or sometimes you're wearing Bata and Crocs on the same day. Those are the bad days. Is there something that you really enjoyed from the whole process of making it that really stood out to you? I mean, obviously, you would want to do this again and again,
yeah,
for sure. But is there something that you learned that was like, yes, I'm going to take this with me?
I just think it's the first thing is just seeing it materialize itself is such a beautiful feeling, because this is something that's existed on like a paper, and to give that life, and the biggest thing I'm going to take away forever is choosing your collaborators very carefully. Okay. I think that is the most important thing to take away, because, for example, the aesthetic of the film, which a lot of people like, it was very intentional. Yeah. It was made to look. So there was some discussions before, and at some point the film was supposed to be 3x as expensive as it was made. But then it wouldn't have done justice to it, because we would have shot in a bigger house. Like, have you seen these ads where people shoot in these big houses and stuff like that? But that's not a typical 27-year-olds or 25-year-olds Bangalore house.
Yeah.
Choosing your collaborators also to fill those kind of places up. For example, the Sanskriti who did the art direction, I was so specific that only she could do it, because her aesthetic is very non-ad-like.
Yeah.
And I wanted that aesthetic.
It looked very lived in.
It looked lived in. Exactly. You're using the best words. It's lived in. It's slightly elevated design. Yeah. It's not exactly... it's not manicured.
Yeah,
it's not manicured. It's not a set. It's all lived in places. It's all places that also exist. You're just placing the camera correctly.
Yeah.
That was kind of the idea. The music, Honeymoon Henny, who did the music, F16.
I really wanted to point that out. Thank you so much for saying it. It was so good.
So good.
It was so good. Yeah.
And
I like the fact that you used Brother Vee's song in it as well. Also very quintessentially Bangalore.
Yeah, that full shout out to Prakhar, because I tell you literally how that happened. He took the laptop. This was towards the end of editing. He took the laptop. He's like, brother, wait. And then he put earphones, and after 3 hours he comes back, he removes it, and he's like, I think I've cooked. And then he just places the sequence. And we did not expect Vainko there. And we were like, what? This is insane. We didn't make any changes to that.
Wow.
He's like, I think I've cooked. And he did. He's 22, by the way.
Oh my God.
Insane. He's insane.
I'd like to meet you.
Yeah, you guys will. I'll introduce you guys. Even shout out to the Honeymoon Hen his sound is very non.
Sample beat vibes. It was very like
synth pop. It feels new. It feels new, and he and the beauty of working with these people, like of course the DOPs are Gautam and Prakar, who I've grown up with, but Gautam and all these guys have a very unique visual aesthetic, and it's the first time he's doing DOP, by the way. Both of them, they're never suddenly they've only had taken photos and small videos which only Prakar shoots. Suddenly on the first day of set, they're surrounded by 7-8 people who are answerable to, who they are answerable to. Inga light veinga, anga light veinga. So that was crazy how they handled it.
How many people were on the set?
At all times? I think it depends on the set. For example, house party, a lot of people. Blossoms, limited people, because it was, I think, me, her, Abhishek, Gautam, Prakar, camera operator, lights 3-4 people. So it's at all times 10 people.
Okay.
That's pretty crazy.
Because I had been to one short film set and there was so many people for one scene, and I was like, I wonder how crowded this set would have been. You know? But it was actually quite tight.
It was
very tight, actually.
Tight?
Yeah.
Tight
team.
Tight team. And the same. I want to take this team only throughout.
Yeah.
Because I realized even film crews in the are you kind of buy into that film crew. That's who you work with. And so my collaborators are the number one main thing. And the beauty is they take it and they give it a life of their own. They have their own interpretations. And you working with people who are very talented in this essence. So I think that was extremely good. Even Kripali was insane. Even the colorist Yash Soni.
Yeah, shout out.
Yeah, bro, I went to Bombay
to meet him,
and he does a Hanuman Kayan stuff, and all of Vijay Shetty's, who's a director who I love, his stuff. I was like, no, only this guy can do this. And I went to Bombay, I met him, we had a great chat, we became friends, and then he's like, okay, I'll do it. And I was so happy to get talented people. So I think that was the main. And another thing I think which helped me a lot, which somebody told me, which I implemented, which I think I will do for a lot of films going forward, is Chidananda S. Naik, who shout out to him. Chidananda, I think first name, I think I'm messing up the last two names, but he is the director of this film called Sunflowers Were the First to Know. This is a short film that won the Cannes Film Festival as best short film. He's a Kannada guy, and I met him at the airport in Bangalore when we landed.
Right place.
He and I started talking. And I was like, bro, wow, great, how was it? And then he sent me the film, we watched in my house, we saw the film together and everything. I told him, Macha, I'm going to do this. He's one of the people I told, I'm going to do this film, something. Tell me what I should do. And he's like, listen, the first thing you do is you make the entire film with your phone first.
He's right.
I was like, what are you saying? That's a lot of effort. He's like, bro, you are going to thank me. And then we did. So every shot we kind of shot on the phone before.
You know, they do that for music videos as well.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's why you see all these BTS videos come out. It's because the choreographies, you have to see what the camera movement is like and the dance and all of that. The setting should be right?
Yeah.
So they do that for literally almost every production out there. I don't know if they do that for movies, but they definitely do that for music videos for sure. Independent singles,
Yeah.
So, they do I don't know what the right word is. It's called some placing or something like that.
Wow.
Positioning?
Blocking.
Yeah.
Blocking is the right. Blocking is how the actors move.
Yeah.
And how the camera moves in response to that.
Yeah.
I think so that blocking and doing that before, for example, before first day of shoot, I think, and I'm not saying shoot the entire film on your phone or something, but I think what helped us a lot was that the most amount, you're on a time budget. If you go 2 minutes overboard on a call sheet, you're going to have to pay everybody extra, a lot of money. That's where people bleed money. So where does a lot of the time go? Time goes in miscommunication, which is bound to happen when there are 10 people on set.
True.
How do you minimize miscommunication to the biggest degree? That's when I realized the beauty of this. Every shot, we took a picture of it and it was on the shot list. So we had papers with every shot and every angle. So when time comes to tell the lightsman and the camera operator and all the people, we just show them the frame. And when they see the frame,
they understand.
Art director knows, oh, these are the things that have to be behind it. Lighting guy knows, oh, this is how we have to light it. They see, the actor knows, oh, this is when I have to come. All the communication is sorted.
That is such fantastic advice for people who are making.
If you are going to make your first film, because that's something, the most important thing I learned from it. But again, these are for really tricky things. For really simple things, you can do it. But at Blossoms, I think we blocked it some 3 or 4 times before we shot it. We did 4 different separate...
Yeah, because there's a lot of movement.
No, there's no movement. So Blossoms, how we shot it is, Blossoms itself is inherently chaotic. The frames are inherently chaotic because there's so much going on. So we realized what we're going to do and what the kind of staging we enjoyed was, every shot is static until the one shot where she moves and they kiss.
Yeah.
Every shot till then is static and it's framed.
Oh.
So we blocked it like that. And it's blocked like it's a maze. Like these guys are moving across this maze of but it's in different places, but it's blocked.
You could almost say like they're working through their feelings or like.
I love it. Letterbox.
But yeah, I see that this film that you made was made with a lot of love.
Yeah.
I personally liked it very much. I don't think you could have told like with the amount of like references that I made. But Nejamave, I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to seeing more of it. And I know that you will do justice to all of it, because like very easy to take like a Gen Z relationship and be like, yeah bro, everything is situationship these days, but like the nuance of it, I really like that you gave the depth to the characters, even when they like started fighting at Naru Noodle Bar, which someone, he got on a reservation at Naru Noodle Bar and he was just like, she was just like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to address my feelings, bro. He booked it for you, bro. I can't book it. Nobody can. Like,
shout out to Kavan who owns the place.
Please, give me one table.
One. This is, his bio reads, not a Eat Naru reservation test on Instagram. It's so funny.
But please.
But yeah, that's actually, thank you for noticing that, because it's like that part. It's written in a way where there's a movement in the US that happened, a film movement called Mumblecore.
Okay,
there's a film called Frances Ha. Greta Gerwig acted in it. Noah Baumbach. She direct? I forget. Noah Baumbach made it or something. I think this was one of the Mumblecore films where it's the biggest challenge. One of the biggest challenges of this film, which different people may take differently and they may think however they may of it. But one of the biggest challenges, when you see English dialogue in Indian films, it always sounds fake. It always sounds fake. So it was quite hard to kind of make it sound natural. And this is how we thought it is to sound natural, because at least the Eat Naru part of it, because that's how we do process our feelings. We say a lot of buts, we mumble a lot. And through that mumbling, you kind of understand what they're saying, but that's not. So there was a moment. So one of the references I sent Kripali before watching the film, before starting work on the film, was Frances Ha.
Okay.
And being like, this is how people talk. This is how they've captured people talking in real life in this. Maybe we should try to do something like that in ours also. So
wow, a lot of thought and a lot of like intentionality that's gone behind it. I'm truly quite enjoying this conversation, I've thoroughly enjoyed talking to you so far, because like I see that like you are very animated while you speak.
Am I?
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm gonna watch this video and be like, why is my hand moving there? But yeah.
But I like, we have been speaking for like nearly 2 hours now, which has not felt like that. I feel like I would be able to do this for like the next 4 hours also. Like,
me too actually. This is a lot of fun. Actually, that's one of the reasons I reached out to her and asking her, hey, can I come and do this thing? Because I really find this platform, whatever she's built, you've done such a good job of it.
Thank you so
because
much.
It's one of those few places where there's no wall between the audience and people talking, and you make it very casual and very like it's very casual and easy.
I'm just naturally curious and inquisitive. I just want to know about
asking questions.
Asking questions.
Yeah, the platform is great.
If you could go to NIT Trichy,
yes,
and if you could see little Nirmal standing over there in college, what would you say to him on that stage? Because you do shout out your audience. So, what would you say to the Nirmal who's standing in the audience?
Yeah.
As the Nirmal that you are now.
In the future, wear underwear when you go to perform. The number one thing, because I've been in situations where I think little Nirmal would really appreciate this feedback because future Nirmal has sometimes performed without underwear, like Commando. And you never know when. And
now everybody's gonna be looking that.
And there has been one time, I think, where I went to pee before the show, and then for guys it works differently, where after you're done peeing also, the pee is not completely fully out. So there's 1 or 2 droplets. And then that pant was a translucent pant. So there were like, and the underwear is supposed to absorb it. So little Nirmal, brother, please wear your underwear. Don't take that for granted.
Solid advice.
Solid advice.
Yeah, 100%. Like
100%.
always wear underwear. That being said, thank you so much, Nirmal.
We have come to thank you. This was a wonderful conversation. I really enjoyed it.
See, like I said in the beginning of the conversation, if you talk about them, they really like it.
Exactly. What self-glazing has this been for 1 hour?
No, but that's what it is. People really do enjoy talking about themselves.
People really do it. Yeah.
But that being said, thank you so much, Nirmal, for coming. I really didn't think that you would actually come on to my podcast. It's a delight to have you on, actually. And I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast as well, as much as I enjoyed sitting over here, because the whole time I was just smiling at Nirmal like a proud mom. I'm just like, Nirmal, go Nirmal, like literally. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you Nirmal for being here.
I don't we do that? Like, share, smash that, subscribe.
I don't do that. But yeah, that's it, guys. You can do whatever you want.
Review this on Letterboxd. Fries with Potate. Let's go. Yeah. This is for the indie ones.
Yeah. And yeah, that's it for this video. And I'll see you all in the next one. You can do whatever you want with the like button, share button.
Yeah, just remove it also. Just remove it, print it out, put it in your house.
Alright, see you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Alright, let's go.
That was so good.
Yeah, you had fun. Was it a good one?
It was a good one, man.
Okay.
Trust.
I hope so.